So I'm James Reid, and my role is the head of effects at a company called Milk VFX. It's a medium-sized visual effects company based in London, and we work on a variety of TV and film projects. So that might be Doctor Who or Sherlock. We're just finishing up working on a TV series called Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. We work on film projects from Hercules, Insurgent, and things like that. Within effects, the speciality of effects, that deals with simulation and dynamics. So anything that can't be animated by hand and anything that's procedurally generated. For example, lots of destruction. We have fire and smoke, destroyed buildings in Doctor Who, or ivy growing up buildings in Insurgent. And I have a team of people that we all pitch in and work together doing that kind of thing. Magical effects as well come into this, a lot of creature work. Sometimes we have film projects where they want a heavily effects-driven creature, for example, a cloth simulation-based creature in the case of the Mirror Man on Snow White and the Huntsman, or a smoke-based creature. Within the company, there's a variety of specialities. Within effects, we'll be given a brief, a description of what the director envisages and what he wants to see, and we'll have to think about ways to create that. We'll all sort of think about it together and try out different methods. We might try, all of them are quite physics and maths-based approaches, simulations with water, fluids, smoke, and often there's lots of dead ends. Something doesn't work and we'll go on to try something else, and then we'll talk to each other. We'll have, one person will have an idea, why don't you try this? And you'll mix it in with what you're doing, and you sort of finally, slowly, you piece something together that edges its way towards the final product. Quite often you'll find you'll be working with a piece of software and it will get you maybe 3/4 of the way there with tools that are out of the box. But that difficult to find quarter that's remaining is achieved by building in your own little logic, your own sort of maths logic, and looking at reference of, oh, I want it to do this, but also this, and it has to be controlled and choreographed. So you have to add in all these little extra things to achieve that. So on a show like Doctor Who, which is obviously a TV project, it may be 20 to 40 people working on something like that, possibly more at its peak. With film work, there would be more than that. We have a capacity of 100 in the company, and last year we reached maximum capacity working on a variety of projects. We had Jonathan Strange, we were working on Thunderbirds, and we were working on I think Hercules all at the same time, something like that, and the whole company was sort of alive with a variety of projects, with everyone doing their little roles and communicating and working together and slotting it all in to produce the end result. Within the effects department, there's a smaller handful of people. That goes from between 2 to 7 people, so it's a smaller group of people that deals just with the simulation side of things. Whilst I was at school, I was really interested in science, maths and art, and I never knew quite how it was all going to fit together. So at university I studied engineering, but knew I didn't want to be an engineer, which led me into, I kind of stumbled across a master's in animation at Bournemouth, in computer animation. And so that was a year course, which led me into working for Double Negative initially. Still not knowing quite where I wanted to specialise within the industry, but knowing that's what I wanted to do, and finding this really cool mixture of the technical and the creative. Once I was in the industry, once I was working for Double Negative in this case, I explored character animation, and sort of that branched off down the effects specific route until I moved to a different couple of companies, and I'm really pleased to have found effects work as the balance that suits me. Okay, so when I first joined the industry, my first job was on a Harry Potter film, which sounds very glamorous, and everyone's heard of Harry Potter, everyone's seen the movies. But quite often it's the smaller scale projects where you get more involvement across the whole workflow of the communication in the team and across the whole pipeline, where you draw the most job satisfaction. So I would say perhaps working on a TV series such as Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell has been the most fun for me, and collaborating with my colleagues and all sort of pitching in together when times get hard and you're working out the best way to do something. And the end result feels like you've really achieved something.